Welcome to another segment of Take Two with Toy podcast. Welcome to Take Two with Toy. Today we have Rodney McNeil with us. How are you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
I am great. Thank you for coming on.
I'm honored to be here.
Good. Thank you so much. So Rodney is a husband, a father, an author, and an educator. Rodney.
Yes.
We're going to start out with a quick game.
Okay.
So, first let me ask you, do you believe in affirmations?
Do I believe in affirmations?
Do you believe that an affirmation can be positive and set your life up for positive things that you speak?
So, I guess this would be kind of like a two-part answer. Affirmations can be good in a sense where, you speak into positive things because I understand there is a scripture that talks about life in the tongue. So the words that you speak can manifest. So I understand putting positive words and outlooks into the atmosphere is good to help build you and even others. But I understand the power of your journey. It's not necessarily based on your affirmations.
Right. But so, you do find them to be a positive thing?
It's definitely a positive thing. I would just say, advice-wise, don't get too caught up on it. Definitely speak positive things, but understand that the real power source is not right there.
Where is it?
The real power source is in the Lord.
Amen.
So people got to understand that.
I receive that.
But I'm not talking down on affirmations.
Well, good.
They're cool.
I'm glad you said that because what we do on the show is we'll start it off with positive affirmations.
Okay.
So with that being said, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
I want you to take each letter in your name and give one positive affirmation. It could be just a single word, or it can be a sentence. But for each letter, and I already have some. I already have some as well for you.
So just my first name, right?
First name. So for the R, what do you have?
And positive affirmation for the R. So I'm gonna go with rare.
Yes.
For the R.
That's good. That's one of the words I had for you.
Okay.
Okay. What about the O?
The O, I'm gonna go original.
Yes.
And I hope this is meeting the criteria of...
I have original.
Okay.
Okay. What about
D?
The D?
Let's put daring.
Wow.
Or even diligent.
So when you finish, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. I'll go with diligent.
Gotcha. I love diligent too.
And we're gonna go neat.
Neat. Ooh, now that one I didn't think of that one. Okay, what else? What you got for E?
E, we're gonna go with eager.
Okay. I didn't get that one either. That's awesome.
And Y. Y is definitely a challenge.
Yes, it is. That one, I literally only came up with one.
Just one for Y? Why? I don't know. Y is definitely one of the more challenges.
So the one I got for you for Y is, let me tell you, youthful.
Youthful.
That one's a hard one. I really searched hard for the Y, and they even only had, I think, 4 or 5 possible positive Y affirmation words.
Right.
So yes, I thought, youthful is perfect.
Yeah, youthful.
So for you said rare?
Yeah.
I have rare.
Okay.
Righteous, resolute, renowned, responsible. For O, I had optimistic, original, outstanding. For D, delightful, daring.
Okay.
There's your daring. Dapper, dedicated, dependable, deserving, and dignified.
Okay.
And then for N, I had nice, noble, neat, nourishing. Y, I had earnest, entertaining, eloquent, and then E was for earnest, entertaining, eloquent, and then Y for youthful.
Okay.
Y
Sounds
was
good.
youthful. Yeah, that was good.
I guess I could have went young, but then
Young is youthful.
that really doesn't sound like
right. It's not
affirmation.
really like, yeah, because that's all of, in your perspective.
Right.
That was good. Okay, so now after doing that, how do you feel about affirmations, about affirming yourself?
I think my feelings remain the same. And once again, I'm not saying it's not bad.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Right.
I just think people shouldn't put their whole power, don't say that. That's where I'm going to get my power from.
Definitely, because I do feel like in this day and time, a lot of people are living off of affirmations, zodiac, and all that kind of stuff. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to do that because it kind of sets the show up for good energy, positivity, and all that good stuff.
And it's definitely a great mind jog as well. It'll wake you up and warm you up. And like I said, these affirmations, positive words still build people.
Yes,
so
it
we
makes
need
you
to
feel
build
really good.
each other as well as help build ourselves.
Correct.
So I'm not against that.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that's your perspective, and I feel like overall that's what life is about, each person's perspective, which is why we won't all ever be the same.
Right.
So that's good. Thank you so much. So I gave you a very vague introduction.
Okay.
So tell the audience who Rodney McNeil really is.
Rodney McNeil. So Rodney McNeil really is a laid back, thoughtful, always trying to learn, just a dreamer, one who imagines, but one who likes to put things into action as well.
Yes, I love that.
Besides being a husband,
yes,
a dad, a brother, a son. Rodney McNeil is all of those things, but it's the real me.
How many siblings do you have? I heard brother.
Let's see. So 3 brothers, 2 blood sisters, and then I have 3 more, by the adoption of marriage.
There you go.
So quite a few.
Yes, definitely. That's good though. I bet the household was fun.
For the most, I don't really think it was ever a dull time from what I can remember.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying that everybody lived in there at the same time.
Right.
Because it was only like 3 in our home. Yeah.
Officially.
Right.
Gotcha. That's good. You sound like do you enjoy having a big family?
Yeah, it's definitely fun. Like I said, no dull moments, and everybody comes with their own personality.
Definitely.
And I think in life, with big families, this teaches you how to deal with different personalities.
Exactly. That's actually a great head start.
Yeah. And like I said, everybody wasn't under the same roof at the same time. Sometimes it was 3, sometimes it was 4. And then our cousins came to stay with us as well. So then that increased it and made it 5.
Cousins are, I don't know why, but when cousins come around, everything turns up another level.
Yeah, and really, if I look at it, since they did come to stay, they was more like brothers and sisters too.
Exactly. I love that. I loved getting together with my cousins. It was always a good time, especially if we did like a sleepover at my aunt's house. We had the best time. So I love having the cousins around.
Right.
That's good. Thank you. So is there any more you want to share about Rodney? What are you doing right now? Do you have any projects? I understand you're an author. Do you have any projects that you've already completed, things you're working on? What are you doing?
Well, I'm working on some things. I can't say that everything is completed, but there are some projects coming. I really don't want to put the names out there just yet because I do want to complete them and have them in the process to where I can present it to the peoples.
Definitely.
But I am working on more books.
Good. Okay, tell us about the books. What have you already done?
So I've done 3 books so far. My latest one being I Hate Essays.
I Hate Essays. So I have I Hate Essays right here with me.
Right.
And I Hate Essays, this is interesting. I'm going to let you tell us about it.
Okay.
But this is I Hate Essays by Rodney McNeil. And you can kind of tell us a little bit about it. Here, you can hold it. And then we'll bring that other one back.
I Hate Essays, everyone. And let's take a look at that back cover.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is.
You proud of that cover?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I Hate Essays. I wrote this book for those who was having trouble writing essays. Now, as I said before, this I is a symbol of perception.
Yes.
So when we look at essays and approach them, you know, we come with our own perceptions.
Yes.
And the conversation from a lot of people that I talk to, and even what I read on the internet and even on social media sites, they hate essays.
I hate essays.
They don't like writing them.
I hate the thought of an essay, and then I hate I hate having to write it. I hate having to format it. And that it's funny that we're talking about this because immediately when an instructor says, you need to write a 500-word essay, 500 words is really not a lot.
Not a lot
but
at all.
I'm telling you, it's something about the word essays that immediately puts me in this.
So then I would ask you, because you're already saying it, like, I hate essays.
I hate essays.
So based on the instruction, was it the instruction or was it just initially seeing that you have to write an essay?
It's literally the task being given to me.
Right.
It's just, I don't know if it's the word. I almost feel like it's the word essays.
And and that's the point of this, like a person's perception.
Yep.
So I needed to deliver a publication. I was inspired to deliver a publication that would at least be a blueprint.
Yes.
For people to follow.
Because
I was scoring very high on my essays, and I'm talking about 100 after 100 after 100.
Oh, yeah, so you kind of knew you had it in the bag.
Yeah.
Essays was your thing.
Yeah, I was doing this every day.
Yeah.
And the more I did it, the sharper my skill became. And my professors, they would leave me different little notes just saying how impressed they were with it, and this was a strong essay. And even the people that edited my essays in the writing labs, they would leave me little notes too. Just they were excited about the writing
and excited to edit it for you if need be.
Right.
I'm sure it was many times where you didn't even have to get a lot of edits done.
That is correct. Like I said, writing it so much on a daily,
it just became like
the skill was sharp, so I began to craft them in a way to where it didn't really need editing.
Nice.
So this is what.
Is it safe to say that when they begin to edit it from the beginning, you started picking up on the things that they would make corrections on, and so were you taking those corrections and putting them in your memory bank to say, hey, next time I know not to do this?
Yes, I was taking everything into stock.
Nice.
So, you might need a comma right there. So then I thought about it. Let me phrase my sentence in a way to where I wouldn't have to put a comma.
Where you don't even need a comma.
Right.
Exactly.
And then let's take away some of these extra words. And just place one word right there that's saying both.
There you go. I love that.
So it was different things like that, just kind of picking up on what they're telling me, and then, but also making the necessary changes.
Yes.
Right, but sometimes in editing, they might tell you some things that's more of a suggestion.
Right.
And it's not necessarily wrong.
Right, just a different way to do it.
Yeah, so
that's
then
good.
You have to make a decision whether or not am I gonna change it or am I gonna leave it? So some of those decisions are still left up to you.
I love that. I love that a lot.
You have to grow and learn.
Because it's still allowing you your own creative power to do what you want to do. However, you could make it sound this way if you change this.
Exactly.
Love it. I love that.
And with the whole I hate essays, like I said, people need to see that you can craft these successfully, they need to see the conversational aspect of it.
Yes.
Because when we're writing essays, this is a broader conversation.
Right.
You're in an academic setting, so you never know where your essay could go.
That's right.
So you need to approach it from a conversational aspect, like I'm adding to this conversation.
What I'm picking up is because you are already naturally an author, your mindset as you're writing this essay is that this could go somewhere.
Yes.
You're not writing it as a student like, I just need this grade.
Right. Like
that makes sense.
I'm speaking to whoever's going to read this.
That makes sense why you would take your works at the end and put it together. Did I just give it away? I just kind of gave it away.
You didn't give it away. Because, I mean, there's layers to it, but that's the mind. Don't ever think like you're just talking to yourself, because you're not.
Talking to an audience.
You can't pass off your opinions as facts. And in fact, these essays teach you that you have to pull in more credible people that have experience, are experts in the subject matter that you're speaking about.
Exactly.
And then you use some of their points to argue your point.
That makes sense.
That way you're not passing off your opinion as fact, because they'll dismiss that and say that's a biased view.
Yes, and also let me ask you, how serious is it that you cite, these references? How serious is that?
That it is a very serious matter. So everybody out there that's writing essays, cite. The seriousness comes down to, if you didn't cite it and they come across that, oh, you use this, you could get expelled. You can get put out of school.
Yeah.
And then it'll be hard to get back into the program.
Totally. And that's why I asked about it, because I know that that's a pretty big thing when it comes to.
And we know the word plagiarism comes to mind. So
that P word.
Of course, if you have works that's out there that's doing great and you're making money off of it,
right,
you can get hit with that plagiarism, and now they can sue you for using their work and you didn't credit them. That's
correct. I love that. So this artwork, tell me a little bit about your artwork.
Yes. So once again, this eye represents, it's a symbol of perception for the eye, instead of like I, but it all encompasses the person.
Exactly.
And how you think about it.
Because when my eye
right
sees this as a requirement or a lesson that I have to do,
right,
yes, I'm immediately,
you're gonna take perception to it.
Exactly.
But how I crafted this, I did it with Canva AI. So I did have just a regular blue iris and like a beige background. And I was like, that's not gonna catch the attention of the people. That's not good enough. And it didn't even excite me.
Because speaking of the eye, people, the minute they see a cover, it has to be intriguing.
Right.
At least for me.
And it wasn't even exciting for me.
I'm a visual person, so immediately that would catch my attention.
Right.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So it didn't excite me, and I began to prompt the AI. I wanted this glitter. Yes. So I put words in it like that, and I put the exact color, and it presented me like 6 different options. And this was the option that I chose.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. That's beautiful. I love the work. So my question is, now that you are officially an author, and how many books have you put out?
3.
3 books. I still want to get into the other 2.
Okay.
But now that you're officially an author, where do you see yourself really going with this? What is your idea? What do you have in mind?
As far as where do I want to take my artwork? I really want to inspire people. That's the main thing, to inspire people to see beyond their normal.
Gotcha.
See beyond their region. Take your mind out to some places that you probably never even dreamed of.
Exactly.
But how can they do this if they're not picking up a book to read it? Because the words can touch your mind and hearts in different ways, but it is the ways that it's expressed.
Yes.
So I want to be able to take my artwork and speak a message. I want it to be message centric, but also with the concepts that I bring to my artwork, they need to be able to take people outside of their normal
I love
world.
Because when I read, I'm definitely looking to go somewhere.
Right.
I love that.
So I'm into trying to make my own genre, astrocardiac.
I love that.
Which,
Astro, take me on this journey with this astrocardiac.
all right, so astro, when we think about astro, we're thinking about going out of space,
Yes.
taking it somewhere else beyond the globe. Cardiac, with the heart.
Yes.
So when I say astrocardiac, I'm really diving deep into the heart. We're going to go into the issues of the heart, what mankind thinks, those things that we deal with in our hearts all the time. So our thoughts, our feelings, but I'm going to parallel it with or compare it to things that's outer space.
Yeah, astronomical.
Yeah.
Love it.
So whether it be the cosmos, stars, whatever's out of space, it's not limited.
Yes.
Everything is open, and our hearts is as mysterious as what's happening out of space.
Definitely.
Like, who can say what a person is thinking and feeling? And I can't say what's really out there in outer space. So this is where that artwork and concept and that genre will encompass.
Love it. So you mentioned mankind.
Yes.
And you probably know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
You wrote a book, Ro, Man's is Dead.
Right.
Make that title make sense for me, because you also used it in two ways. Tell me about that.
Right. So I know I'm gonna ask you a question. When you say Ro, Man's is Dead, what does it sound like to you?
If I put it all together quickly, I get romance.
What does it make you think?
Is dead.
What?
Romance, love.
Okay,
is
yes,
dead.
yes. So I was going there with it. For one, because when I wrote the book, I seen that like the natural love and affection that society and people in society used to have for one another is dead, is dying, or is dead.
It's powerful.
Because you hear about so much tragedy, the killings, people raping, people being robbed, just different things of that nature. So romance is dead is definitely that sound, romance is dead. So I was trying to say that too.
Gotcha.
But also Ro is a character,
Yeah.
main character, and romance is dead. And Mans is also a group and their characters. Man's Elite. It is Ro's protectors of the things that she embodies.
Gotcha.
Meaning she embodies beauty, kindness, gentleness, and they protect these different attributes that make up love.
So Ro's
in a sense.
positive being.
Yes.
Ro is a positive being. Okay. And Ro is the main character.
Ro is the main character, and she's presented as a woman. For those who read the Bible, just like wisdom and Proverbs was presented as a woman.
Yeah.
This is how Ro is presented.
Wow.
And she's embodying, like I said, the kindness, the gentleness, and she is a beam of light with no darkness in her. Like no darkness can be found.
Woo.
And when we think about love, those are the type of things that love embody. They don't embody darkness.
Right.
So romance is dead. We have that aspect of it, but we do know in life that there's an enemy as well. And this is really about human decision, like what's inside our hearts. So there's that beauty, and then there's that darkness. There's an extreme to where they become raging like monsters.
Oh yeah.
So Romance is Dead is telling that story.
So tell us a little bit about
Man's Elite.
Man's Elite.
So Man's Elite is Ro's, I guess you can say they're like ambassadors of love. They protect those different attributes that come with love.
Yes.
And they fight off the enemy of it. And like I said, this is inside the hearts of man.
Yeah.
So really all this is taking place inside the heart, but it's set up in a world to where it seems like these characters are actually moving around.
So in this book, what or who plays the enemy part? What example of that is in the book? that's the enemy.
All right, great question. So an example of it, let me just say this: hate, envy
Yes,
is
tell us
his
about
name.
hate envy.
Yeah, hate, envy is his name, and he is what it sounds like.
Hate and
He
envy.
he comes with hate, so he only comes to steal, kill, and
destroy.
destroy.
Yeah.
That's his main goal, and he wants to get love out of here.
My Lord.
So in the book,
That's some real stuff.
right. So in the book, love is in the world. Like, this beauty is in the world. This light is in the world, and he can see that light, no matter how far away he is. He's coming to the light so he can put the light out.
He wants to put that light out. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Very much real stuff.
So even in our hearts, this is the main point. We have light in our hearts.
Yeah.
And the enemy wants to put that light out that's in our hearts.
My goodness.
So even when a little bit of darkness gets in here,
Yeah.
they're trying to put it out. So it's a cobra. That's one of the characters, and it's even a raging dragon in the end, to where he's slaying people.
Wow.
And when you let your darkness grow inside of you, it becomes a rage. And when we think about the people that do the mass killings, and even if it's not a mass killing, you let the darkness grow inside of you to the point to where it became rage.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be manifested in killing.
Whew. This book is heavy. I did get an opportunity to read it. Funny is I edited. So
Thank you.
I loved it when I was editing. It's breathtaking. So I definitely want the people to know, like, that is a must read. If you don't find yourself in there, you will find someone that you know in there. And you could even eventually become that if you're not careful. So I love this book because it's just so impactful. It'll really make you look at yourself and adjust.
And dare I say that you probably should find yourself in there, or at least be inspired to have the type of light in you that's beautiful.
Yes.
Because
you could easily fall in the character as Ro.
Right.
But living in a world that we live in, we understand that evil is always around us.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's in the word. So thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh.
No problem.
I love talking about Romance is Dead. And you know that I love to correct the way it's said, because that title, yes, romance is dead. But in this sense, we're talking about Ro, who is a positive light.
Yeah.
And then Mans, who is her elite.
Right.
And just the whole idea of that. So Mans elite dies?
Man's elite.
Am I giving away too much? I can stop.
I won't say that you're giving away too much, but I will say this. Man's elite is not necessarily dead as much as the things that they are protecting is beginning to die.
Woo! It's too
So
much.
you're taking away their purpose.
Yes. And oh my gosh. Talk about killing somebody's spirit.
Right.
Okay, we can get off of this because, I can stay on Romance is Dead for a long time. Let's talk about your your second book.
Right.
But we're going to talk about it last.
Right.
Let's talk about the Candy Academy.
Yes, the Candy Academy, Dream Candy.
The Candy Academy is one of my favorites too. And I don't want to sound biased, but I would say my favorite author right now is Rodney McNeil.
I appreciate that.
And this is the Candy Academy. Here, let's talk about the Candy Academy.
All right, the Candy Academy. It is a family effort.
Yes.
Daddy, son, and wife.
Yes.
Even wife edited. You, Mac. Yeah, so the Candy Academy. Before I go into explaining what it's about, I just want to say that the Candy Academy was written based on my son, but I wanted kids to have fun again with reading, because with so much technology, it sort of takes away their ability to think.
Yes.
When they overuse it, I would say the abuse of technology.
Yes.
Sometimes it takes away their ability to think. So this was written with that inspiration or aspirations for them to be inspired.
Yeah.
But Candy Academy is about a young black guy, Maui Cauliflower.
How old is he at this point?
In real life?
On when you guys were.
I would say he's 11, so like a 6th grader, middle school.
Yeah.
He's a dreamer. He loves to dream. And he always dreams about candy. Candy is his favorite thing. Because as we all know, as kids, and even now as an adult, we kind of lean to those things that are sweet in life.
Yes, I do.
And this
in more
was
ways
a thing,
than one.
Right. So this was the thing that got him excited. Now, he kind of seemed like the odd man out at school.
Yeah.
And in different social settings, but school was one of those social settings where he would be the most. And he was the odd man out because he always dreamed.
He was always dreaming.
Always dreaming.
Where is he dreaming at? Because apparently he must be dreaming at school.
So he was dreaming in all settings, be it inside the classroom, recess while the kids are playing. He over there daydreaming about candy.
Yeah.
But he was impacted so much because his dreams were much deeper. They were calling him to do something more.
Yeah.
Maybe like chase something in life, chase purpose. But he needed to understand what the purpose was. And these dreams would lead him sort of toward
where he was
his
supposed
purpose.
to be going.
Right.
Yeah.
It would lead him toward his appetite. He had a taste for something, and it was sweet.
I love that. So let's talk about his name, because Maui Cauliflower, that's an interesting name. So where does this name come from?
Maui Cauliflower. Well, Maui is my son's real middle name.
Yeah.
So we took that, and he doesn't like vegetables, just like a lot of kids, but I can't speak for every kid.
You said a lot. That's it.
Yeah. And his mom, loved to make broccoli and different things like cauliflower. So it only made sense. Let's give him a name that, since he loves candy, let's give him a name that's in contrast to that. Something that that he kind of detests.
That is hilarious. Yes.
Because these kids would go on to make fun of the whole cauliflower part. It's funny because they don't like vegetables. So it's like, ew, cauliflower. So that was what I was trying to pull out of his name. Like,
I love that.
Let's give him something that will be in contrast to his appetite.
That's awesome. So this book takes place mainly where?
This book takes place mainly, I would say, in his head, but to be honest, the candy shop becomes a magical place.
Yes.
It's transformed.
Yes.
And it takes place in the Candy Academy. You know, as he goes deeper into the candy shop, he's going to go into another world.
Wow.
Where all kids are kind of on the same page.
Yeah, so everybody's thinking candy.
Yeah, everybody's thinking candy. Candy is the standard.
Oh, this is good.
But it's led by their imagination. So they're not limited to candy inside of a wrapper. Candy organically makes up the landscape. I don't know where you can find this at except inside the mind of a kid.
A dreamer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what it's about.
This academy is everything candy except the children.
Everything candy except for the children.
Wow.
Yes.
And so throughout this journey through Candy Academy, what are some of the things that they're going to run into? Like, does he enter the Candy Academy alone? How does this go?
He doesn't enter it alone in a sense. Like, he has a guide. It's always somebody that's there that's acting as a guide. Might be an older person, so you would say that they are a mentor. It's just kind of like, if this is where you want to go, here it is, but I can't make the step for you. You have to move. So it's phrases like, oh, taste and see.
Oh.
The only way that you can make a move or understand how something taste is you have to taste it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how good this candy is until I
Yeah.
taste it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good this journey will be until I take the step
Oh, man.
into it.
That's powerful. There's so many messages inside of the message.
Yes.
That's beautiful. I love that. So I wonder why your mind works the way that it does. What is your creative process? Because just listening to this, and then of course I hate essays, using the I
Right.
as that catch, and then romance is dead with all these different ways you're explaining things. How does your creative process go? How does your mind work?
So my mind works like this. Once again, I love the art.
Yes.
Love the concepts. My perception, I can see things, and it immediately begins to speak to me.
Nice.
But I always said with art, I want my art to be message centric.
Yes.
Like, the message is the greatest thing that I can get over to you. So it needed to be centered on something that has some substance.
Love it. I love that.
And then from there, with the creative process, I would find concepts. So when we talk about things like romance is dead,
Love it.
like I said, it's a message in it, and it's like double messages.
Does this come natural for you?
It comes natural
Mm.
because the more that I read, the more
yeah.
that I learn.
Opens up your mind.
Yes, it cultivates my mind to be able to think of these different ideas.
Yes.
So I'll take the concept, and then I will begin to fill in the middle of the concept just with like the message. So we need to fill in these gaps.
Yeah.
But it's so much content. What I'm really trying to say is I don't like limit myself.
Right. Are you the type of writer that needs to know what happens at the end?
Yeah, I can already see the end first.
Oh
And
my gosh.
let me say this. If you don't see the end first, it's gonna be kind of hard to go toward a goal.
That is good. That's
Like,
good.
You need to have a goal.
Because I personally am a freestyle writer. I don't see the end.
Right.
I build it as I go, and for some reason that works for me.
And I'm not knocking that. That, if that's your process, then that's beautiful.
That's good.
Because some people can get that accomplished.
I love
but-
your process. I just wish my mind could work that way. But that goes back to just being different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because different is beautiful.
Yeah.
Different has its own strengths.
Yeah.
If you think like me, how will I inspire you
Yeah.
to
Do something different.
yeah.
Love that.
So, even with your process, you'll inspire me. You can show me some
Yeah.
different things. Oh, maybe I want to freestyle at this time to try to get to an end. Maybe I might make multiple ends.
Well, I will say something. For the people who don't know, we do these things called powwows.
Right, powwows.
And it was one day when we were discussing another book that you were writing that I'm having a fit about because you won't finish. And I won't say it because hopefully you will, and then you can introduce it to the people yourself.
We will finish the book.
I really hope so. I told you, this is the one. This the one that's going to shoot you out. You talk about astronomical cardiac and all that. This is the one. But, okay, I was saying though, like, having those powwows, you are really the person who inspired me to write.
Okay.
Because immediately after the powwow we had, which was our first initial powwow,
Right.
I immediately went back into my space and I just started writing. Like, things were just like overflowing. Like, I was
Right.
like, what is happening? Like, I'm not a writer. I knew you were. I didn't know that I was. But I will say, during my education journey, I would go back and read some of my stuff and I would be like, yo, I wrote this?
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too. Reading some of your essays, funny enough, before I got on my journey to write essays, I was like, "You're a writer.
Man.
Like, these essays are saying something, and I can
I
hear the
had no
message
idea.
is clear. You're a writer." So I disagree. Like, the writing is in you.
Wow.
It just took something to, get the mind flowing and opening up the path of creativity.
Yeah.
And once you get into that zone, you go.
It's on.
But I respect that process. And that's what I want to say to you. Like, your process is different. That was a whole different process that we had never done before.
Right.
It was brand new.
It was very sporadic.
Right.
It was like, hey, let's do this. And I came out of there a writer.
Right. Well, once again, I would say that you were already a writer.
Yeah.
You just didn't know,
know
that it was in you.
I
But
love that.
through that process, it opened up and it inspired you. And that's what I want the works to do. Once you get into it, I want to have a conversation through the book.
Yes, definitely.
This message needs to be conversational enough to open you up, show you some different things, but also still come back down and center you in a human way.
Yes.
And wait a minute, I'm inspired by this.
I love
see
it.
this in a different light.
I love that so much. So definitely want to have you back on the show because there's more to come. I know this
There's
personally.
definitely more to come.
But how can the people follow you?
Instagram, you can go to @TexasSizeDiesel. I am on LinkedIn, Rodney McNeil.
Okay.
I'm on Snapchat. I don't know who is really using
Who's really
Snapchat
on
at this moment, but
Yeah. So are
Texas
you
size.
working on, do you have a TikTok? Are you working on getting a TikTok?
I need to go ahead and get a TikTok. I'll go ahead and get one.
Okay.
I guess you could say I'm ancient in that sense.
Yes, I think so. TikTok is where it's at. So I will ask one other thing because you don't quite have a TikTok yet. Which handle do you anticipate using? Which name?
Probably gonna use Texas Size Diesel
Yeah,
for the
that
TikTok.
seems to be the one that probably won't have already been duplicated. So that'll be
Right.
good. Okay.
You can also find me on YouTube as well, Rodney McNeil.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Do you have anything else you want to share?
I definitely have more that I want to share.
Okay.
Everybody stay tuned. I'm coming with my own creative imprint.
Yes.
And under that imprint, I'm going to drop various works,
Good.
books, but it's going to be art in various forms. I don't want anyone to limit me to just books.
Right.
But these books will come with an experience. So whether it's visuals, maybe some audio media, these different worlds will get married because
Yes.
I want to create an experience.
Gotcha.
So look for that real soon. The imprint is going to launch this year.
Awesome. I love that. Will you support others under your imprint or is this strictly your thing?
I'm definitely open to supporting others, but we all know, just like labels and different imprints, they find the people that sort of like match what they're trying to do. So I'm definitely
So you would be
open
looking
to
for
that.
people who are definitely thinking on a level in terms of the astrocardiac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people that's definitely gonna bring something that's just gonna be like, what is
Like,
this?
whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
is
yeah.
this?
I love that.
Because I'm kind of bringing some stuff
I
that's
probably
like,
can't be on your
what is this?
I probably cannot fall under your imprint because you've read my stuff. My stuff is kind of straightforward. So I love
I'm not
the
gonna
way
say
you
that you
think.
couldn't fall under the imprint because, like I said, there's ways to take in the very human-centered things and just presenting it in a way that's out of this world.
Right. Okay.
So
there's
that's
some hope.
what we try to do.
I love that. Okay. Thank you so much again for coming. I have truly enjoyed this interview.
I enjoyed you too. I would love to sit down again and
We'll
talk
do
more
that.
and more.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.